When you write music like that, John, you see a movie with no sound. How does a theme like that come into your head?
Well, we do see the movie, Gene, as the audience probably would expect, with no music. It's a silent film except for the dialogue and some sound effects. And so you try to imagine a musical atmosphere, ambiance, or feeling, texture, beginning with simple things like should it be loud or should it be soft. And I, like you, loved this movie when I first saw it. It's a beautiful love story. It's a story about sadness and happiness and family and a beautiful little boy and such basic, wonderful human values. I was so touched with it. And I loved it for me, for an opportunity for music, because unlike so many of the other scores which I've done, which are big space epics,
yeah, Star Wars,
and all these things,
Superman,
the rest of these things, which are wonderful and genre pieces in their own way, that require music that's extrovert and brass and cymbals and fanfares and so on. Great for music, swashbuckling and all of that. But having done a dozen or so of those, along comes Accidental Tourist, which is quiet and touching and sweet. And a wonderful opportunity to create music that had a gentle, atmospheric, nostalgic feeling.
The British have only mixed success in approximating American cuisine, but the business traveler with persistence will be able to locate a meal in London not much different from a meal in Cleveland.
The old governor, just as sold at the Yankee Stadium. Yeah, have a nice day, eh?
The creation of a tune like this, while it seems simple and while it is direct, can take lots of time. I mean, there could be days, sometimes weeks, where you stare at the ceiling, what am I going to do? And where am I going to find 2 or 3 notes that are fresh, that will speak? And it's a difficult job, but an interesting one in the sense that it's like so many things in life, if you press for it, if you get writer's cramp, everyone's familiar with that. Everyone watching has tried to write a novel or even a postcard. It won't work. You have to be easy, let it come to you. And in that sense, you don't court the muse, you wait for it and she comes. The harder you search for it, the more difficult will be the connection.
What film was the most difficult to compose for? What score that we now know and love was the most difficult?
I think Close Encounters. Very complicated with all the musical signals, you know, the spaceship came down and we had all of that business. Oh, sure. Everybody remembers the beginning of that communication. And from that point on, the orchestra played. It started very simply with that, with the mothership belching out those notes down below and the oboe answering, you know, all of that. Simple enough. But from there on, the role of the orchestra to all that choreography of the lights, I don't know if the viewers remember all of that, but the last half of that, last third of that picture is enormously complicated, not easy to do.
For John Williams, his 18th Oscar nomination and a possible 5th win, we'll find out Wednesday.